they give you a dopamine hit in a lot of ways,
Yes.
right? So they make you feel better, but we've sort of over time developed them as habits that give us comfort.
Yes.
And so we go to them for that comfort when, all of our fears are fears of feelings. And so we don't, when something is happening that makes us feel uncomfortable or icky or anxious or scared, and it may just be not even something like we don't even necessarily know where it came from, but we don't like it. And so what we do is we push it away.
Welcome to the That's Where I'm At podcast. I'm Laura, happily divorced after spending years with a narcissist. I believe keeping secrets will make you sick and that they always come to light in the end. As women, we're often told to be quiet, don't share your story, don't talk about the things we go through. It's making women sick, sad, and suicidal. We don't have to be on the other side to share our story. This show is for the women still in the middle of the mess, but showing up bravely as they heal. It's time to share these stories with each other so we can learn, grow, and heal together. I'm Laura, and that's where I'm at. Please take note that this episode may contain subjects that may be triggering to certain listeners. Please take care when listening today. Hi, guys, and welcome back to the That's Where I'm At podcast. Today, I have Dr. Jill. Jill is an award-winning Harvard and Stanford educated physician who retired after a 35-plus year career and became certified as a wellness and mindset coach. Her extensive experience and training, coupled with her own transformation from a stressed, overworked, unhealthy physician, wife, and mother, into a happy, healthy, thriving coach, make her uniquely equipped to help others release unconscious thoughts, emotions, and behaviors that hold them back so that they can create their dream life. Welcome, Jill.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. Oh my gosh, that sounds wonderful. Well, we kind of heard how you got into it. Tell me some more about that, how you're happy now. Tell me.
So here's the thing. I went through, I'll give you the bullet version of what I went through. In a 2.5-year period, I lost both, managed care from 3,000 miles away lost both parents, foot reconstruction, husband into assisted living, now memory care for Alzheimer's disease, breast cancer, surgery, radiation, chemotherapy.
Wow. I'm
sure I'm leaving something out.
Right.
Right. But stuff that would make your average person just run screaming from the room.
Yeah.
But Jill 2.0 is thriving and happy. Despite all of the stuff that's going on. And there's still stuff going on. Husband's in memory care, doesn't know who I am. Last couple of weeks, I'm getting called every other day because he's hitting, kicking, punching the staff.
Yeah.
So there's stuff to deal with. And it doesn't have to take me down.
Right.
So my treatment for my cancer eventually led to a disability retirement from my 35-year medical practice. And it was sad, although, because I loved my patients, I adored my team, I loved what I did, and it was probably killing me with, with stress. And we're so used to taking that, right? The stress accumulates. We're like the frog in the boiling water, right?
Yep.
And so, although I was not in a marriage of abuse, My first husband wasn't great to me emotionally. He was, but not like what a lot of people are dealing with. I get what happens when you feel like you have no choices.
Yeah.
And when you feel stuck in a situation and you can't get out. And when it impacts, it changes your thoughts, it changes your feelings, and you just sort of go, oh, well, it's me, right? So I get that. And so many of the women I coach have been in relationships like that, and it impacts them. But at any rate, I ended up with a disability retirement, and I got involved in some coaching programs, and I got involved in a bunch of coaching certification programs and discovered I was made for it.
That's awesome.
And so it kind of happened by accident, and then it became my true calling in life. And I didn't want what happened to me to happen to anyone else.
Yeah.
And if it did, like say they already got cancer, I wanted to help them deal with it in a way that it was no longer hurting them, and help them deal with stress, overwhelm, burnout, and all of the things that are they're sort of part of the human condition, but some of us like get a bit more of it.
Yeah. And we all can deal with it in different ways, right? Because just one of those things that happened to you is enough of a trauma,
Would be
right?
enough.
That's enough, and for our body. And the other thing that people don't realize is we all went through a worldwide pandemic together. So we all have at least one. And it was enough because we were in such a state of, I don't know what to do. And you felt, this is the way I felt. I felt like scared and confused and, all at the same time. Like I felt, this is fun that we're all just at home. And then, oh my gosh, I'm terrified. I'm going to die. Those kinds of things.
Right. And it's all trauma. We all have different responses to trauma. We all have, even as children, we have, some people have big T trauma and some people have little T trauma, and some people like to call it adverse childhood experiences or important, whatever. There's all different names. But the fact is, we all have things that happen to us that impact our brains and our bodies in different ways, and how we cope with them and how we learn to cope with them as children programs how we're going to react to things that happen to us as adults.
Right. And so is that what you're finding when people are saying, I feel stuck, I feel burnt out, I feel like I have no choices in my life? Because I remember towards the end, when you're in psychological and emotional abuse, right, your brain, I just remember my brain was mush. It had been 33 years. My brain was mush. I couldn't make any choices because every choice was wrong, right? And so I did feel stuck in a lot of ways, even just making simple decisions. And I remember even after leaving my marriage, talking to my therapist and her saying, just say yes to some good things and see if you like them. Because I'm like, I don't know. And I call myself Laura 2.0. I think it's great. But it's so true. It's like, we're not dead, so we're not done. You know what I mean? Like, there's still time to do what you want to do. But I just remember going like, I don't know what's next. People wanted me to have the answer. What are you going to do next? What's happening? And I'm like, I don't know. I can't even make decisions.
When you've been in that situation for so long, you have often lost the ability, the skill of how to make decisions like that.
Right.
And so even the littlest decision becomes like, I don't know. And then you really get stuck because you can't make decisions. But if you've got fear and anxiety, if you're stuck in a trauma response, and all of a sudden somebody says something, like even years later, right? If you've been in a marriage where there's, even if it's not physical abuse, it's emotional abuse.
Right.
Somebody says something that triggers you and takes you back to that. All of a sudden you're there, right? And in fact, probably where you are is way earlier in your life, something that happened when you were 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so all of a sudden you might look like you're 50. Right. You're like in a 50-year-old body. Right. But what's coming out of your mouth and what you're feeling is stuff from when you were 3. And then you are not going to make the best decisions.
Let's get real. Gaslighting isn't just a buzzword. It's that sick, spiraling feeling in your gut when they say, that's not what I said. You always twist things. Or you're too sensitive. I was just joking. Yeah, I can totally relate. I spent 33 years with someone who made me feel like I was the problem every time, no matter what. That's why I wrote, You're Not Crazy, Reclaiming Your Sanity and Self-Worth After Narcissistic Abuse. Because you deserve to trust your gut again. You deserve to trust you. And spoiler alert, you were never the problem. Gaslighting is the main tactic of a narcissist. This book won't fix your ex, but it will help you fix your peace. just check out the link in the show notes to get your copy today. Don't wait to start your healing.
And if you have been in a relationship where you have been conditioned to believe that you can't do that, then it really takes some work to overcome that. You have to not only learn the skill of making decisions, but you have to be able to let go of the things that keep you from being able to do that. And that's the bulk of actually what I do in my practice. I think people know, you know what you need to do, right?
Right. But can you? But you feel so stuck you can't.
Can you get yourself to do it, right?
Exactly.
You might know you need to fill in the blank for your business, or you need to declutter,
whatever it is, the
linen closet or whatever it is. Like, you need to do it, but you can't get yourself to do it. And so taking away the internal things that make you not want to do it is sort of the magic. And for people, for your demographic that you're dealing with, they've just been beaten down.
Right. And feel overwhelmed. I think when you were talking about that, that's what was coming to me, was that you get so overwhelmed, and people who can just go, and maybe haven't been in this situation may not understand, but you get to the point where I have to just sit on the couch and scroll. There's a reason why, because I'm so overwhelmed. My brain is like, I'm not doing one.
My brain is full.
My brain is full. I can't even, there's nothing to do. I don't want to worry about it. Those are the days when it's not 110 in Las Vegas like it is today, that I will just literally go outside. I need sunshine. I am a houseplant. I need oxygen and sunshine and some water.
Yeah. And people, and the way people deal with those feelings of overwhelm is they just push away the things, they push away everything, and they use temporary distractions.
Yes.
They use food, they use video games, they use online shopping, they use gambling, they use alcohol, they use whatever. And so,
because are those things just easier for us? They're just, we don't have to think about them. They're just,
they give you a dopamine hit, right? In a lot of ways, right? So they make you feel better, but we've sort of over time developed them as habits that give us comfort.
Yes.
And so we go to them for that comfort when, all of our fears are fears of feelings. And so we don't, when something is happening that makes us feel uncomfortable or icky or anxious or scared, and it may just be not even something, we don't even necessarily know where it came from, but we don't like it. And so what we do is we push it away in whatever way we can. And so some of these things, even people who over-exercise, right? It's a way of pushing away the things that bother you. Yes. And it turns out that those inflatable, they're called bop clowns, those inflatable clowns with the weight in the base, and you push it down and
and then it goes back up
again.
Yes.
And that's what your feelings do.
Oh, okay.
So you sit on the couch and you play the video game, but eventually, or you eat the bag of tortilla chips, but then 10 minutes later, you're like, not only is your problem back, but you also hate a bag of tortilla chips. Right. So then the shame comes in, and I still didn't do this thing that I wanted to do, or I'm still doing this thing I wanted to stop doing, right? Procrastinating, whatever, having the same argument 100 times with my kid or partner or whatever. And the solution is actually to feel the feelings fully and heal them. And so then, if you're not carrying this stuff around anymore, it feels lighter. And for people who are most of the people that you work with, they're out of the relationship now, and they're still dealing with the aftermath. So,
are you feeling trapped in a relationship that leaves you questioning your worth and sanity? Have you noticed the red flags and decided you can't live one more day in a toxic environment? Whether you've just left or are considering leaving a narcissistic partner, the book, Married to a Nice Guy, Getting Over Narcissistic Abuse, is here to guide and support you. In this candid memoir, I share my 33-year struggle in a marriage to a nice guy that was marked by emotional manipulation and abuse, revealing how I broke free and reclaimed my life. If you've been waiting for a sign, this book is it. If you've ever felt isolated, confused, or hopeless in your relationship, Married to a Nice Guy, Getting Over Narcissistic Abuse offers the understanding and guidance you need to break free and start your journey to healing. You are not alone, and you deserve a life filled with love, respect, and happiness. Order your copy today and take the first step towards reclaiming your life.
The thing is, unless you heal this,
Right.
you're still carrying it around. It's
Yes.
on your shoulders. It's in big, heavy suitcases. And the ones you have to carry, the old ones, not the ones with the spinner wheels that you
Yes,
just kind of...
the ones that are marked with your shame
you're
on
like,
them.
Right? And so the thing is, unless you heal it,
Yeah.
it's still there. And it's still talking to you, and you're still feeling it. And so then you take it everywhere you go. And so you're in traffic and somebody cuts you off, and all of a sudden you're still like having this hyper reaction to it, right? Or you go to the supermarket and somebody is in the express line with one too many items, and you're like, fuck that shit, right? Like, that's the kind of thing that doesn't have to bother you anymore if you've kind of done that inner work. But the other thing is that if you've been in a relationship where somebody has really beaten you down like that, you have to heal the damage that's been done to your psyche, and you have to have that feeling of self-worth. And you have to learn, you have to get better boundaries, but you have to be able to do it in a way that is constructive, right? Because lashing out and saying,
get out of here,
what the fuck, man, you just cut in front of me and you have 9 items in your basket. Like, that's not going to help you, right? It's not going to help.
That's not really a boundary. That's the thing.
But it's but the thing is, like, in a relationship, if you go into a second relationship and you haven't fixed the things from the first relationship, they're there.
Yes.
That's why I think divorce rate for second marriages is higher than the divorce rate for first marriages. Some of it is that it's stacked a little, like, you've got people who have shown that they are able to get up and walk away. But some of it is that they may or may not have figured stuff out. And there's just, if you've been in a relationship where somebody has beaten you down and hurt you like that, there's a piece of you that sort of is expecting it in a way sometimes.
And that's the part I didn't want to get to, right? And I've heard that from people when they have kind of both things where they have this, it's almost like boring on one side, right? Because you're not being abused or you're not being manipulated. It's like it almost becomes boring because your body was, because of that,
in adrenaline.
Right, exactly. Even if it was abuse, it was still like, so now it seems boring, and then I don't want it to be where I'm questioning that guy going, I need to look through his phone or whatever, because I know I've seen that and other people talking about that saying, that's not this guy. That was the last guy. It's okay. You're going to be okay. This isn't happening right now.
Right. And the thing is that understanding that rationally, cognitively is one thing, but feeling safe is completely a different thing. And so you have to get to the point where your body feels safe.
Yes.
In order for your brain to feel safe.
Right.
And to realize, just knowing that this guy is husband 2.0 is a different person. It takes more than just understanding it. You have to feel it.
Yes. Well, unfortunately, we're already out of time. It went really fast. It went so fast. But where can everyone find you if they want to work with you or even just look over your stuff?
Yeah. So they can find me at my website, which is drjillrosenthal.com. And I will be putting together, I've got a gift specially made for your audience.
Love it.
That they can find at drjillgift.com/recovery. And it's going to be all about how to heal your stuff and put down those suitcases.
I love that.
So you can go where you want to go and not have to carry that stuff around anymore.
I love it. Thank you so much. I mean, this has been a great conversation, and I know it's going to resonate with a lot of people. Thank you so much for sharing everything. And guys, if you could please go and touch base with Dr. Jill Rosenthal on her website, and also check out the free gift. Everything will be in the show notes. And of course, go on social media, go on Apple and Spotify and tell Podcast Land that you loved us and you loved this episode and all those things. So Jill, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. It was great. And I need to send, I have a whole bunch of clients who I need to send your way to listen to your podcast. So,
great. I love it. I mean, that's it. I have a heart for helping women because I felt so alone after my divorce, and I don't want anybody to feel that way. This is why we do these things, right? We didn't want anybody else to feel the way that we did. And so thank you so much. And always remember that your voice matters. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Thank you for joining me today on the That's Where I'm At podcast. Did the story today resonate with you? Do you think others would benefit from hearing the stories we are telling? Please go to Apple or Spotify right now to leave a review so everyone in podcast land will know you love the show. We want to continue sharing stories of hope and healing. I'll be back next time. I'll talk to you then.